Welcome back to episode 22 of Living Your Life Well Planned. It's the 80-20-365 success system with Adam Vincent Gilmer. He's in California, enjoying a great life. I'm your host, Gene Velitis, and I'm just all over the place. I'm very, very excited about this episode. Please take notes. Make sure you have your daily planner out. This is going to be important. If you've gotten to this point and you're saying, what's a daily planner? Yikes, but we'll explain it anyway. It's a planner you're going to get, a system you're going to get for one entire year. And it's based on 90 days, but you're also going to have sections where you have 30 and 60. It'll have your daily purpose statement. It'll have everything you need to give you direction. If you incorporate your daily planner with these free podcasts or free videos, or if you're on Apple iTunes or Spotify, however you use it, it's a system that we put together just for you. Now, we can't give away the daily planner. It's about $1 a day to give you life-changing results, new and better results. So go to 8020-365.com, order your daily planners. You'll get them for the year. They'll arrive via whatever method. In some countries, you'll be printing them out simply because of what's going on with COVID-19 and things like that. If you've been following along, and you don't have to follow along like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, you'll get the most out of the course if you do follow it along that way, but you can jump in anywhere, go back and review, because reviewing material is always important. But if you've been doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. episode thing, and you're now jumping into episode 22, I'm going to tell you, this is where it gets fun. It also gets serious, but we like to have fun around here as well, because what's the point of being successful and miserable? Nobody wants to have that. I mean, look at the life that Adam leads. It's absolutely fantastic with his wife and beautiful kids. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to take leadership from our last episode, and we're going to tack on 2 words to the beginning of that, and that's high performance leadership. Right. So for those who are completely uninitiated, to begin with, first question, real quick question, what's high performance mean? And secondly, how do you go from being a leader to a high performance leader or a high performance person? I'm going to sit back and listen to this one because I love this explanation.
All right. So good morning, good evening around the world again. Thanks for jumping on and listening to our other podcast here. High performance leadership comes down to the characteristics of what we consider high performance. In every industry that there is, in the sports industry, as an example, you've got teams that will hang out, work out, play together. And then you have, your starter team, and then you have your secondary team. And the starter team tends to be made up of people that the coach and maybe the people who own the team are looking to see what are the small little differences, little characteristics in people that for whatever reason, the performance of the act, the job, the way the ball was handled, what have you, is just that little bit better. And when you put a whole bunch of little bit better in people together on an amazing team, a team that trusts each other, a team that's working together with a common goal, a team that has a purpose, we want to go win a championship, or hey, we're going to go break records in sales or build a company. You're just expecting more from those 5 or 6 people than you do, than the others in a company or in a team. And those characteristics are noticeable by a spectator. You take a look at, soccer, which is very, very big in Europe and what have you. But when you get certain players on the field, they are exceptional. And here's what happens. When you take high performance people and you put them together, the overall performance goes up on both teams, the ones that are playing to win the championship. And what happens is the best of the best comes out. And that's what leads to a high performance person. A high performance person has a belief inside themselves that here's how they're going to operate. Here's how they're going to attack their days. Here's how they're going to work on their relationships. Here's how they're going to handle their finances. And a high performance person is somebody that you all know that you can go to and get a straight, direct answer No yelling, no screaming. It's just like, boom, here's the truth. Because high performance people don't have the time, well, they've had to put up with, you know, bullshit, but they don't have the time to put up with it. And they let you know, and they're very, very effective at it. So, the difference is noticing the little characteristics that allows that person to be above the rest, more gifted. I know maybe better DNA. Maybe they've worked at it longer. They're a high performance person, and they push themselves relentlessly.
Yeah. I remember reading a story about the late great Kobe Bryant, who was a basketball
Yep.
player with the with Los Angeles. In case you're out of the country and are not familiar with him, but I mean, this guy was world famous. So if you don't know Kobe Bryant, I become a little more aware of things. In any event, the story was, regardless if the Lakers won or lost, as soon as the arena they were in was empty and the cleaning crew was in there and there were no more spectators, he would go back out on the court and practice shots, and especially shots that he missed during the previous game, like a couple of hours beforehand. And he would be out there for 1, 2, sometimes 2.5 hours until they would say, Mr. Bryant, we got to turn off all the lights. You got to go home now. But I mean, and same with Michael Jordan, same with a lot of great athletes. They're the first one on the pitch, on the ice, on the field, on the whatever they're playing on. They're the last one off. And oftentimes they go back and they practice and they practice and they practice. So when they do get in a game situation, they've been through it so many times before. They've done their homework. And so many other players don't do that. And they say, oh, Kobe Bryant, he's a superstar. Well, is he really a superstar? Or was he a guy who just worked so hard, he outworked everybody else who was average?
And that's the point. The point is, he still had DNA and everything else, but he worked to make his skills a little bit sharper, a little bit better. And just doing the extra work, putting in that work is having a strong work ethic.
Yeah.
High performance people, it's like this. If we took a whole bunch of low performance people and we put them in a high performance work environment, okay, what we're going to find is some of those people are going to go up and say, man, they're going to step up and, hey, try to maintain the high performance environment. And others will say, hang on, and they'll immediately back away from the high performance work that needs to be done. And that's another telltale trait. I mean, I watched another interview where basically Kobe and Shaq, and they always used to fight and what have you, right? And then Kobe said, listen, if you could work as hard as me, we could be champions, right? And they ended up becoming champions. And even Shaq says to this day, Kobe would always outwork him. And it wasn't so much that Kobe was better. What Kobe was doing is pushing himself and wanting to be the best. Okay. The other thing that's really important is that when a high performance environment is there, and you put people into that space, they are either going to sink or swim. Stay with it or quit. Okay. And that's the other thing. A high performance person doesn't really have a sense of quitting. They're like, they look at the failure as a learning experience versus like, oh, well, you know what? The sky's falling and it's all terrible. They look at things a little differently. And, optimist versus a pessimist. Okay. And high performance people just have this little thing. And it's hard to say exactly what it is, 1, 2, 3, but you all know when you see Kobe play or, one of the other athletes play, you can tell this is a high performance person.
Yeah.
And you can choose any industry. These traits are going to rise above the rest.
Mm-hmm. I'm just guessing here because we don't have any exact statistical information, but based on everything you've done in your life. Oh, there you are. We'll have to just edit that little part. Speaking of
Okay.
high performance people, I would imagine, I'm not basing this on any sort of statistical information because we don't have it that exact. We know where people are listening, and it's Russia, it's Italy, it's the United Arab Emirates, it's all around Europe, it's Canada, it's the United States. I mean, we got lots of listeners, and I'm guessing the vast majority of them are in some sort of a sales position. So, you've had to take many steps in your life. So you've been there. I've had to take many steps in my life. And some of them I failed at miserably, but it didn't upset me. I got up, I dusted off, and I started over again. But what if we have somebody involved in sales, commission sales, direct sales, multi-level marketing, real estate, anything like that? And they're kind of new at this, and they're taking the course. They've got a daily planner. They're committed. They've made a decision. What's the one or two things they can do right now with this course that will take them from an emerging leader to a high performance salesperson or a high performance person? What can they do?
The number one
People love, we live in a drive-through society, especially now.
question.
So what's the one thing they can do today to get not to get amazing results, but just to slowly start, putting that sailboat back on track?
The best decision you can make is the actions that you're taking and you're working on presently, is it a high payoff activity or is it a low payoff activity, an 80-20 activity?
Yeah.
In early episodes, we talked about this, but I'm glad you asked that question. A 20% item will lead you. You can do a 20% item right now. It's something that you've been putting off. It's going to lead you into either having a better relationship, repairing a relationship, and or creating a new relationship. Making that contact. There's some action you can go and take right now that'll lead to that happening. That's the way to start as a high performance person. High performance people don't go and do their 80s. Perform the trivial many stuff and focus in on the most important things that will get them to their goal or dream now. And that's a 20% item. That's the one thing you can do immediately as you're watching this. Now it's like, okay, listen, get in your planner, go and see what your 20s are that'll lead you to 80% results, and go and do one or two of those right now, and you're moving your life that fast. Very easy.
Yeah.
Also easy not to do.
Yeah, and that's the problem. So what happens when you make a decision that you're going to be going from a leader to a high performance leader, high performance
there's
person?
No excuses,
there's just no excuse.
Yeah, there's no excuses, buddy.
So when the excuse comes there, you can pretty well say to yourself, I'm not a high performance person.
That's correct. And then now that should leave some good psychological scars that should push you, not deter you, okay, to say, man, what would a high performance person do? And just asking yourself that question moves you. Think about it. What would a high performer? Oh, this is what would be good. And you know what it is. Go and do it. And then don't put up with your laziness or excuses. I started this diet with Jessica, myself, working out, being very, very consistent. And, the other day we went out to a Mexican restaurant. And as much as I love tortilla chips and salsa, I knew, hey, I'm not going to touch the tortilla chips and salsa. But they smelled so good, Gene. Okay, it's like you get all these little temptations, and the point is, if you're serious about doing something, there's a level of integrity that comes up, and you're like, you know what? And didn't have chips and salsa, not because I didn't like chips and salsa. It was just that it's not the right time to have that food, and have it on my cheat day, which actually today is a cheat day for me.
Now, you know what? That's so funny you would bring that up because Adam's wife is Jessica. And Jessica, she's had 2 children, and her body is in incredible shape because she works out. She is a workout model. She goes into competitions. And the one thing I loved about meeting Jessica at first was she's really goal-driven. She works out. She has her routine. I mean, she does this as a profession. This just isn't somebody saying, I'm going to go to the gym today. She wants results. But then I remember she celebrated her week of working. I think you and I were driving up to Sacramento or something like that. And we pulled over at some steak food restaurant. And Jessica said, I'm going to cheat. Now, Adam's wife is in perfect shape, is not overweight. She's, she does this for a living. And this little 5'0" woman ate like a 27-pound steak as her celebration day. So as you change, I guess the one thing we haven't talked about this, as you go from leader to high performance person, high performance salesperson, high performance anything, you got to celebrate your victories, big and small, to make you feel good and keep you on track. I mean, you gotta have a little piece of chocolate cake, whatever that is, if it's either real chocolate cake or metaphysical chocolate cake. Would you agree?
Yeah. 100%. In fact, what you're really doing is, and it's going to sound shocking to everybody, but you're shocking your system. And high performance people like to push themselves, which is a shock to the system. Hey, can I do it? Can I make this happen? having a cheat day on a diet it shocks the body. It's like, oh, well, I got all this extra food. Well, I can burn it, and once again, these are techniques. These are little characteristics of what it takes to be a high performance person. But it also comes down to you being strict on yourself. See, the only person who can truly hold you accountable is yourself. Okay. It's not like you have, we're going to show up at the door and give you a caning because you didn't do your purpose statement. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have to. It's funny when you buy a new iPhone, the iPhone becomes yours. When you go and buy a new Mercedes or BMW or new car, it becomes your car, your BMW, your whatever. So when you go and get the planning system, it becomes your planning system, and you have to personalize it. You have to let the 7 habits leak into your life, because just practicing the 7 habits will make you a high performance person every single day. And high performance people make incredible decisions. High performance people follow up. High performance people take the responsibility and they wear it. And this is our invitation to you is, look, there's nothing, you don't have to operate at full high performance every single day. Race cars don't do that.
No.
Okay. But on race day, it's time to perform.
Okay. Hey, look, Formula One is held on Sunday, but on Monday through Saturday, all they're doing is working to get that driver and that car up to 100% maximum performance. And then they go out and somebody wins the race. And they go, I won. And what I've noticed too is that when people take this course with you, they don't even know that they're becoming high performance, but then all of a sudden, people start following them and they're attracted to them. And they say, I want to do what Adam wants to do. And, this course is about you, the listener or the viewer, but, here's something that I wanted to do because I consider myself a high performance person. I joined a sales company because I wanted to get on the corporate side. I was thinking of maybe the sales side, but I really wanted to know what it was like. And I remember going to a convention and I said, who are 2 of the highest earners in this company? And this woman said, well, there's this guy named Jason and there's another gentleman named Adam Vincent Gilmer. And my only mission that weekend at that convention was to meet these 2 guys, to become their best friend and to work with them, because I knew they were making money. I knew they were successful. I wasn't exactly sure how to do what they were doing, but I wanted to learn how to do it. And my decision was, I'm just going to walk up and say, I want to be like you. Would you be my mentor? Help me make money. And you and the other guy, this guy named Jason, you both embraced me and took me into your lives. And now look at where we are years and years later. You and I are together and we're teaching this material, and it was based on me. So, one of the things I always stress when people want to become high performance or a leader, go to a leader. Say, I want to be like you. I want to hang out like you. 99% of people have been in your position and they say, wow, can't believe you tracked me down. Yeah, sure. Hang around with me. You never know where it's going to go. But if you go to the right leader, you're going to go big.
Right. And I think, Gene, that's an energy, right? I mean, so people want to become better. Great. So go work with people who are already there and do what they do.
Yeah.
And, so somebody says, Adam, is it really worthwhile to plan and organize every single day? I'm like, you know what? Until you've tried it, you won't know the incredible benefits. And then you'll be saying to me, oh my goodness, why did this happen sooner? Well, and that's the thing. I can't make it happen sooner for you. Gene can't make it happen sooner for you. You, the listener, have to take action and make it better for yourself. And that's called personal responsibility. And that's called having the right energy. A lot of people tend to think that, positive and negative attract each other. It's really not that way. What I'm trying to say is that like attracts like. Okay. People of a similar belief system come together. They like each other. Okay. That's the whole point of, the term like. And that attracts energy. So if you want to get, more high performance out of your life, come and spend some time with high performance people. And what'll happen, it's going to sound crazy, but the habits are going to rub off on you. And that's called personal development. Personal development is taking a terrible habit, replacing it with an even better habit that's more rewarding, and it gets better for you over time. That's what we're doing in developing. It's how you learn to read. It's how you learn to type. It's how you learn to speak. You have these repetitive actions going on that led you to where we are here. The habitudes that I follow through every single day on 7 Habitudes, I mean, even when I'm on a plane or I'm traveling or like on this particular webinar, I've got notes, I've got everything that I'm going through. It's a plan. Gene messaged me the other day and said, "Hey, listen, what are the topics for our episodes?" I say, "Here they are, boom, 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 boom," because this is what we need. This is to be a high performance person. The challenge to you folks watching is, if you don't have a planner that's pushing you, where in the back of your head that you're supposed to be doing it every day, and you're not, let that be the neurotransmitter reminder to you to say, get on it. Okay, go plan, go organize. Write your purpose statement, go over your monthly goals, objectives that you want to make happen. Go to the gym, watch what you eat, break your day up into 80-20, 20% high payoff things first, 80% trivial. You can, delegate those later, but work on critical high payoff activities and force yourself to be a high performance person. That's what our planner does.
Exactly. And believe me, Adam and I will not be showing up at your door asking to see your daily planner. That's something you're going to have to do. So you're going to need a daily planner. If you don't have one yet, if you've just maybe chosen this episode out of random to see what the course is all about and what Adam brings to the table, get your daily planner. Go to 80/20/365.com. It's about $1 a day. You'll get a system for an entire year. If you're listening from a country where things are small and there's problems and they don't deliver, you'll be able to print it all off and you will use it every day, and it will become your guide to life. We will not be showing up at your door. Coming up next, I love this topic when Adam sent it to me, how to deal with the highs and lows. I think a lot of people get mistaken about how to deal with the highs and lows. And instead of celebrating the highs, some people become real egotistical, what I'm talking about kind of people. And then some people, a couple of those, I bet. And, when you hit the lows, sometimes maybe they're not that low. I had a low with Adam once, and his reaction to me was, I just thought it was beautiful. It surprised me. It delighted me. And I'll tell you about that when we deal with highs and lows in our next episode. For Adam Vincent Gilmer and the 80/20/365 system, I'm your host, Gene Velitis. Join us on the next episode, Highs and Lows.